It's the big event we always look forward to. A very good evening to you from the city centre, from Main Street. It's the Three Kings Cavalcade 2014. Once again, a spectacle of colour with loads of children taking part. You can already see children lining the streets, very excited, awaiting the parade, the Three Kings, beauty queens, live music, and 7 floats this year. 4 floats in the senior category. We have 3 floats in the junior section. And I'm joined by Paul Grant, who's in Main Street, soaking up the atmosphere. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening, James. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. We're really looking forward to this.
Yeah, it's going well down here. We've got about 3 or 4 deep. I'm just off the piazza on Main Street here, and it's taken a while to fill up. I think people have taken till about 7:15 to actually come down and enjoy the spectacle, but it is filling up nicely. It should be reaching here in about 10 or 15 minutes from now, and already the crowds are 3 or 4 deep. So looking forward to 7 floats. James, actually, I was down at Casemates earlier watching everyone set up, and I came across the governor, Sir James Dutton, his first experience of the Gibraltar Cavalcade, and we had a quick word, and he's blown away. So he's very much looking forward to what should be a spectacular cavalcade, and as I say, it should be passing by the piazza where I am in about 10 or 15 minutes from now.
You mentioned the governor. I was talking to a couple of tourists also, Paul, down there in Casemates, because they're so taken by the tradition. More than 50 years of Three Kings Cavalcade. It, of course, has to be said, it was all started by GBC's Open Day, which was formed in the 60s to support and to pay for this event, and that tradition has kept going since. More than 50 years the GBC Open Day has been supporting the Three Kings Cavalcade, and this year is no different. Some of those tourists saying, you know, what a fine tradition Gibraltar has, and all of them telling me, Paul, about the sense of community, the great spirit, atmosphere at a Casemates as people walked about with their children. And it has to be said, this afternoon in glorious sunshine, and what a fine evening it is, Paul.
Oh, it's been wonderful, yeah, and great to see the people come out in their droves. Obviously, when it's sunny, it kind of helps. I'm just going to look over my shoulder just in case any kind of vans or anyone comes to come and run me over. I've got my back turned to where the traffic will be coming from. As you mentioned, well, yeah, please let me know. If anything's over my shoulder, please warn me in advance. Yeah, great to see loads of people at Casemates, and people have kind of been enjoying their coffees and teas, and they've been in and around Casemates, allowing things to kind of warm up. And also, just here about 5 minutes ago, we had some of the early sweet distributors. Of course, one of the talking points this year, there won't be any sweets thrown or lobbed out from the floats themselves. So there have been some guys and girls dressed up as Batman, Superman. I think Wonder Woman was here as well, distributing sweets. So there are sweets going around. They just won't be lobbed out during the actual cavalcade, but people do have them, so they haven't completely missed out. And as you'll know, social media completely filled with people talking about Sweetie Gate, is what they're calling it online. So no sweets on the floats.
It's a big issue this year, isn't it?
Exactly, but people do have them because people, as I say, there were superheroes distributing those about 10 minutes ago. So the people do have some sweets, at least.
They were members of the Ministry of Culture, keen to keep that tradition alive, Paul. And basically how it's worked is that van with sweets set off some 20 minutes ahead of the main parade. The idea is that no sweets remain on the actual street. Of course, the worry following that health and safety assessment is that young children will actually hurl themselves in front of the huge trailers just to get the sweets. So they decided, you know, just to keep the tradition of giving out the sweets, and we saw that van come past us in the last few minutes. And it's been a hard work for everybody who's been involved in preparing for the Three Kings Cavalcade. 7 associations, some of them family and friends who got together to produce those floats, and it is hard work. You know, they've been working over the Christmas period, in between their holidays, their family dinners and meals, and a lot of work has definitely gone into producing those floats, which we'll no doubt be watching in the next few minutes. In fact, I think we went round some of the workshops earlier in the week just to see the work that was being done. This is one that you'll be seeing. It's one of my favourites, my personal favourites, to be quite honest. It's a Monsters Inc. This is the crew from Mickey and Friends, who get together every single year to support the Three Kings Cavalcade. And one of the things that they were telling me about the beauty of producing a float is that the whole family goes along. You know, they make an event out of it. You see the children there, they give them tasks to do, they do a little bit of the painting, and it's such a great family atmosphere for them to be able to be part of these celebrations. But loads of hours. For example, this particular float, they started work as far back as the 10th of December. It's almost a month in production. Others, they just started after the new year. They got together with some family and friends and have produced something perhaps smaller, but all of them extremely colourful, Paul.
Yeah, so I'm just looking over my shoulder to see what's coming. Again, I don't want to get run over. We've got some young ladies over here who are very much looking forward to the cavalcade. Hello, you ready? You excited?
Yeah.
Okay, so no sweeties are going to be thrown off the floats this year. Do you have any sweeties in your little pouch there, just in case?
Yeah.
And have you seen any of the floats down at Casemates already? Have you seen what they look like?
No.
But what are you most looking forward to? What's your favourite part of the cavalcade every year? What do you enjoy the most?
Sweeties.
Sweeties, but they're not going to be on the floats this year. What's your name? What's your name?
Daniela.
Daniela. So Daniela's really looking forward to it. She's not going to get the sweeties off the floats, but I'm sure she's going to enjoy especially the Disney characters, and there's going to be loads of those coming by, I would say, in about 5 or 10 minutes from now, James.
And about 20 beauty queens and princesses also taking part in the parade today. They'll be led by Miss Gibraltar, Marwa Carbush, who of course was the People's Choice at the Miss World pageant. Well, I saw them all queuing up patiently down there at Casemates in their convertibles, or convertibles being driven by others for them. So they're also very excited, very keen, and let me tell you, all of them looking absolutely fantastic this evening. Music being provided by the bands of the Royal Gibraltar Regiment and also the pipes and drums of the Sea Scouts. The Reenactment Society, they're also going to be a part of the Three Kings Cavalcade. And I can already tell you, Paulina, as you saw also earlier down at Casemates, the variety of floats. Okay, it's not big in numbers, but it's very varied. We have from, as we saw on the screens earlier, the production of Monsters, Inc. to others based on the popular musical Grease, loads and loads of Disney characters, and those always go down the treat with the younger members of our community. The children, I am sure, will love all those Disney characters.
We're going to talk to some older, well, not older, slightly, they're not under 18 anyway, people who are enjoying well, looking forward to enjoying the cavalcade. Cheyenne is here. Cheyenne, how are you looking forward to the cavalcade?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it this year.
And what's the main aspect for you? What do you really enjoy?
I really enjoy how much the children really look forward to it every single year. Obviously, this year with health and safety reasons, the floats weren't able to throw sweets, but they had the aspect, the first float were able to hand out sweets, and you still keep the enjoyment of every single year. That's what the kids look forward to.
Yeah, for sure. Have you had a look down at Casemates? Have you seen what's going on?
I saw the Monsters Inc. float, and that one really stood out from the rest of them. I think there was also a Grease float that I saw, and I saw just a few others, but I wasn't able to look very close to them.
There's a lot of Disney characters going around. There was Goofy, there was Pluto, there was the Kettle from the Beauty and the Beast. Everyone was down there.
Everyone was down there, and it's good. It keeps the enjoyment and the fun aspects for the children, which is very good.
Okay, James, well, you see, everyone's looking forward to it, eagerly anticipating the arrival of the Three Wise Men, the Three Kings, of course, then the bands and the floats themselves. So the atmosphere here is well and truly building. Right, let's try and gauge exactly how some of the very young members of our community are feeling. Are they looking forward to the cavalcade? We're going to crouch down over here. She's already running away from me. Don't, come forward. Who are you? What's your name?
Mara.
Mara. And what's your name, gentlemen?
Lee.
Lee. You guys looking forward to the cavalcade?
Yes.
Have you seen any of the floats down at Casemates yet? And what's your opinion of what you've seen?
Mickey Mouse.
You've seen Mickey Mouse. Have you seen Pluto as well?
What?
Have you seen Pluto down there as well?
Yeah.
And Mara, from what you've seen down at Casemates, anything that you're really looking forward to seeing come down in the cavalcade?
Chipmunks.
Are the chipmunks here as well? Have you got any sweeties on you? Because obviously they're not throwing the sweet. You haven't got any on you?
No.
Oh, why is that? Oh, well, tell you what. Hopefully, I'll try and get a bag of sweets for you, and I'll give them to you later. If I can keep my end of the bargain, that'll be good. So yeah, looking forward to everyone from the Chipmunks to Pluto to Daffy Duck. They're all going to be coming down very soon, and everyone's very excited.
So, Paul, as we see the band and we hear it in the background, I suppose that the excitement kicks in even further.
It is, among young and old. We're going to speak to Becky over here, who's got her kids here for the cavalcade today. Becky, you looking forward to the cavalcade?
Very much so.
And what does this do for the community and for your family? Everyone down, I assume?
It brings everybody together. It's one of the highlights of the social calendar. Wraps up Christmas nicely, and it just brings the community together and have a bit of fun. 7
floats this year, but as I'm saying to James, it's the quality, not the quantity.
Very much so. I believe so. Sometimes less is more. And hopefully this year we'll see that.
Yeah, if it's okay with you, I'm going to get out of the way because the police escort is on the way down and I don't really fancy getting run over. So, James, back to you.
Thanks very much, Paul. There it is on our screens now. That start of the Three Kings Cavalcade and the band being followed by the Three Kings. And one of the beautiful things, again, of the Three Kings Cavalcade, for those of us who also walked to the route in the past, is the faces of all the children. You know, the absolute faces of excitement, the smiles, you know, because they are so keen to see not only their favorite characters, but the Three Kings, the live music, the atmosphere, which characterizes an event like this. And like we were saying earlier, you know, in a true Gibraltarian community spirit, it's an absolutely fantastic event. Becky there talking to you, saying, you know, the highlight of the social calendar. And I think she put it very nicely when she said it wraps up Christmas, because that's exactly what it does. The Three Kings Cavalcade taking to Main Street this 5th of January.
At time, James, it's kind of signals the return to work and to school, but I think it does crystallise the end of the Christmas period, and it's one final day to really enjoy ourselves and be festive. We're going to cross over here into the light down the piazza, and we're going to speak to these two gentlemen who are locked in conversation. Gentlemen, good evening. Are you looking forward to the cavalcade?
Yeah, pretty much I am, actually. Well, not for me, for him.
And what's he most... Hello, sir. What's your name?
Rohan.
Rohan. What are you most looking forward to about the cavalcade?
I need sweeties.
Has he got any sweeties on him? Because obviously there's not going to be any thrown off the cavalcade floats this year.
Yeah, no, but I've heard there's about 5 or 7, I think so it is.
7 in total, yeah.
7, so you should enjoy them all. No, you're going to enjoy them?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
Good boy.
Good man. You got the whole family down as well?
No, just him, me, and all the friends from the shops.
And I always find about the cavalcade, it's one final chance over the Christmas period to get the whole community together, really enjoying one event in unison.
Pretty much it is, actually. To get everybody over here, to see all this big crowd over here is amazing. It's very good fun. And to see all the kids enjoying themselves, speechless.
OK, Rohan, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you right now? 10?
Yes.
OK, Rohan is a 10 of excitement. James, back to you.
I'm very glad. You never know what you're going to get when you ask your kids. 10 for excitement and really looking forward to the cavalcade. If you're lucky to live in Main Street or have family or friends there, you may also be watching from one of the balconies or windows. Of course, Main Street at the moment is absolutely chock-a-block, as we hear there in the background the Royal Gibraltar Regiment Band. They're followed by the Three Kings, and then we'll start seeing the 7 floats. Will of course be taking you through the prizes as handed out by the judges earlier this evening down at Casements. There goes the band of the Royal Gibraltar Regiment and the tradition that is the Three Kings. Here they come waving at the children. Confetti streamers galore. In Main Street this evening, they of course follow the Star of Bethlehem. You can see people, children waving back at the Three Kings on their fiberglass canvas.